Hey, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we terrified of it.
So there's two people or two subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. 9 feet, 10 foot, I don't know, they look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Happened to me. Keep in mind, this is midnight, and I'm fixing a truck in my backyard. At this point, I'm only with my brother, and I hear something fall from the sky. I turn around, the only thing I see is a big light falling from the sky, and moments after, I feel a big impact and a bang, sort of like a big impact fall. So when that happened, the only thing I can see in the backyard is a tall creature, probably around 8-10 feet tall, very thin.
When will this planet come back?
It's here.
It's already in the area.
Oh yes, right now it's in conjunction. It is behind the sun. It's coming up. It came up in the direction towards the sun's, say, 7:30 position.
Okay.
Now, when it comes out from behind, it'll be around the 1:30 position. And
will we be able to see it then?
Yeah. And when we see it, if you're not prepared, I mean, frankly, when we do see it, people are going to be standing out in the street. They're going to be pointing up at the sky.
You'll be able to see it like that?
Oh yeah, you're going to see it. It's a melancholia scenario. Jeez. It's just going to keep getting bigger and bigger because this thing is going to come around from behind the sun and cross over our orbit above us and ahead of us. And you know, there's a gentleman, Bob Dean, government whistleblower. He's one of my heroes. I mean, I just love this guy.
Yeah, good guy.
And I think in 2008 on Project Camelot, he made a prediction. He said, according to my sources, it is going to, when we are going to be on the same side of the sun as the Planet X system when it goes into its aphelion leg. That's when it's going back south.
Okay.
And that is when it's really going to be jamming, you know.
And jamming meaning doing
fast
things to us?
To the sun, to us. First off, let me just explain the Planet X system.
Okay.
Nemesis is the dark star, all right? And it hasn't been visible for a very long time to the naked eye because it's shrouded in iron oxide dust.
Okay.
This is from its creation.
And where would that be now, that binary star?
That binary star is beyond the orbit of Jupiter, behind our sun.
And that's why we can't see it.
We can't see it. First off, let me just explain the Planet X system.
Okay.
Yes. It's a long period elliptical orbit. It's inclined to, here's the plane of our solar system, all right, and it's inclined. And it goes up and down in 3,600 lunar. That's right. It doesn't go around like we do. So it comes up and down like a comet.
Okay.
It's a comet-like orbit, and it's very long. What happened was, in early 90s, a gentleman by the name of Robert Harrington, he was an astronomer for the U.S. Naval Observatory in Washington. He was the chief astronomer. He wrote a brilliant paper on the location of Planet X. All right. Not only did he do that, he backed it up by having a telescope specially constructed, sent to an observatory owned by our government in New Zealand. Because at that time it was in the southern skies.
Just to look for this planet.
Yes. And what happened was all of the image plates that came off that telescope were sent to NASA, disappeared. Never seen again.
Well, that's interesting.
And shortly after that, he died a very...
I think now Trump is a decoy for the big picture. There's a planet circling around, it's been circling around that they know of since 1930. And that's what the space program is about. Ain't nothing to do but no war. It's all the mighty nations have come together. And that's what the games are about, to get your attention off of. Check out the two suns that's in the sky in California. And said, you know, this must be about the thing they've been following since 1930. Now first, NASA is not about space stuff and missiles. They were put together by mighty nations to track this huge thing they picked up and didn't know what it was. And at that point, it circled this planet 42,000 miles every year. Now it's circling the planet 42,000 miles every 24 hours. They know how close it's getting. And so what we're looking at is this big lie. And I guess it's not a lie to them. They're not hiding this to protect us. They're hiding this to protect themselves, like they're going to determine who's going to live and who's going to die. They are putting all this trillions of dollars together, trying to trace this huge thing, which is about 1,000, 10,000, maybe 1,000,000 times bigger than this planet. That's what got everybody scared. We look now, and there's a handful of people that knew what was coming. We old black folk couldn't read and write. So yeah, there's something big gonna come down here and get rid of all of us. Thank you, grandmother, because all of us is guilty. And so what we looking at now, you're looking at the news people that don't know nothing, huh? And so they're trying to figure out Trump. And so again, I'm saying, not to scare you. You wasn't scared when you was paying your tax money and got them bombs dropping on women and children. You wasn't scared then. And so you live in filth. You live here, prostitute houses all over the world. That don't bother you, huh? And so here's where we're going. I don't know when it's gonna hit. I know it's close. And I'm not prophesizing. I'm talking about what you feel. Climate change. And you stupid fools, it's too stupid to tell. All these scientists don't know what's going on. They lying. They don't want to scare you. You don't need to be scared. Fear and God don't occupy the same spot. This is the universe doing this to you. And so ain't no reason to tell you get ready. Somebody asked me, so what we gonna do about it? Well, if you was on 747 and both engines fell off the front, huh? The wings fell off. What you gonna do about it? Nothing. Lay there and die like everybody else on the plane, because you don't have the qualifications. Now there might be some people out here that have the qualifications by their behavior, by all of the things they've done. And so somewhere, that's what you're looking at, and that's what you're gonna see. And one day when you get close, when you can see the face of the devil, it'll look just like you. It'll look just like you. And all you black people out here go to church screaming and hollering. The universal God says, as long as you tolerate that, then you're guilty. And so that's where we are. And the reason you can't figure out nothing is because they lie to you on television, they lie to you in the papers. Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Yes, sir.
How do I know Kennedy didn't die in Dallas? But the New York Times, the Washington Post don't know it? Huh? Because they reduce you down to fools because of the stuff you tolerate. But you'll see. You don't have to wait long. You'll see. Because truth don't look like nothing. It's a feeling.
This ancient planet called Nibiru. It's outside of our solar system. Every 3,600 years or so, it comes in between like Mars and Jupiter. In this this book, what he's done is he's decoded ancient Sumerian. What he believes is that it's a detail of us being visited by another race from another planet, and that they come here and they genetically engineer lower primates, and that they created us.
Made us like gold.
Made us like gold. That's the other part of it. Well, gold particles, when suspended in the atmosphere, are actually like the very best thing you could have if you want to protect yourself from the rays of the sun.
The Anunnaki are brilliant. How smart is that? Go to a planet that you want to mine. Monkeys. What would be a better gold miner? It can climb trees really fast. It'll be able to dig into holes eventually. Wire it so that it likes fucking gold.
Here's a topic most Christians won't touch. According to Zecharia Sitchin's translation of ancient Sumerian tablets, the Anunnaki played a direct role in human history, as recorded in the Bible, including the creation of humans and the rise and fall of ancient civilizations in Mesopotamia. The Anunnaki's involvement in human affairs is said to have begun before the Great Deluge or Flood mentioned in the biblical story of Noah. They arrived on Earth approximately 445,000 BC and established their first settlement at Eridu, known as Earth Station 1, or the Edin. Initially, they sought gold in the waters of Mesopotamia, but later discovered larger deposits in the Abzu, believed to be located in the southern African kingdom of Great Zimbabwe. By 400,000 BC, a total of 8 cities, with Nippur serving as the mission control center, had been completed. According to the tablets of creation, the Anunnaki created a primitive worker, Homo sapiens sapiens, by combining Homo erectus and Anunnaki DNA to fulfill their need for a labor force in gold mining. The transition from primitive to modern humans appeared to occur within approximately 40,000 years, a significantly shorter period compared to the gradual progression observed in previous hominid species. The reasons behind this rapid change remain unclear and lack a satisfactory environmental or other explanation. The Anunnaki's involvement with humans continued in the pre-flood cities, where humans served and assisted them. However, the Great Deluge around 12,000 BC led to the destruction of most of these cities and human settlements, marking the end of the olden times, as recorded in the Book of Genesis. After the flood, around 10,500 BC, the Anunnaki established a new spaceport control center on Mount Moriah in the Sinai Peninsula, which would later become the site of Jerusalem. The Mesopotamian and Nile Valley regions were divided between Anunnaki princes Enki and Enlil. To maintain contact with Nibiru, their home planet, a new landing site connected to the main control center was constructed in Egypt. Pyramid-like structures were built in Egypt to serve as beacons for guiding their spacecraft to the new landing site, given the absence of natural topography in the area. However, succession wars between the Anunnaki gods of Egypt, known as the Pyramid Wars, occurred, resulting in the establishment of kingship under Horus and the formation of the first human Egyptian dynasty under Menes after the unification of Upper and Lower Egypt. Anu, the supreme god of the Anunnaki, informed them that the earth was to be inherited by humans, not the Anunnaki. Therefore, kingship was granted to selected earthlings in different regions to teach humans the knowledge, science, and arts of civilization. These regions included Mesopotamia under Enlil, the Nile Valley under Enki, the Indus Valley under the Enlilite goddess Inanna, and the neutral Sinai Peninsula spaceport for maintaining contact with Nibiru. Additionally, Ningishida, Thoth, was granted a region in Mesoamerica known as the realm of the plumed serpent Quetzalcoatl. These events are also mentioned in the Bible as the basis for the covenant between Yahweh and Abraham. According to the Sumerian records, Abraham was recruited by Anunnaki god Enlil to raise an army and defend the Sinai spaceport against Marduk's faction. Abraham's battles against the Elamites, as described in the Book of Genesis, were actually in support of Enlil. After successfully defending the spaceport, Abraham was promised descendants and a child as a reward. Later, a decision was made to destroy the spaceport with nuclear weapons to prevent its takeover by Marduk's faction. This event is also recorded in the Bible as the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, the divine kingship of the Sumerian Anunnaki, ancient aliens on Earth. The city of Kish in Mesopotamia was the first to be awarded divine kingship around 3760 BC. Many significant wars throughout ancient and modern history are believed to have been influenced and directed by the Anunnaki's struggle for control of earthly divine kingship. For For example, the Persian Wars, including the rise of the Amorites under Sargon of Akkad, were attributed to the influence of the Anunnaki. Sargon of Akkad credited Anunnaki goddess Inanna Ishtar for directly assisting and fighting in the wars that led to the formation of the Akkadian Empire. When Marduk claimed that the Age of the Ram had arrived, he initiated a campaign that destabilized the Mesopotamian region. He conquered Nippur, defiled Enlil's temple, and established his new temple in Babylon. The Enlilites responded by destroying the Sinai Peninsula spaceport with nuclear weapons, as described in the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah.
Need to leave. Leave now. I don't think it's going to come around for a little bit. I think that'll keep it away for a while. She just woke me up again and said she heard it on the roof, and this time so did I, so you can get out there and have a look. Okay. Oh, holy shit. All right. Son of a bitch is one on the other side of the house. Oh. Oh. What the hell? Where'd it go? What is that? What the son of a... What's going on here? Oh my God.